Woohoo! We are part two, which is actually episode 11 of the spooky season series. Welcome back, my podcasters, to Life Unfiltered with Joe. This is your host, Joe, and I can't wait to get started. So, if you're watching the visual today, you're probably like, oh my gosh, this girl doesn't look any different. She didn't change. Ew. No, bitch. I pre record these. You guys, I'm not going to record the same day that I am releasing the podcast, obviously. So I tend to record podcasts back to back, which means they might be in the same day, which means I'm still in the same outfit. Surprise! Anywho, so today we're going to go into more stories, little spooky, weird encounters, what have you, to celebrate this holiday. But before we begin, let's get into the Amazon review today. And this one's actually kind of important to me. If you're watching the visual, you'll be able to see these physically. But I am reviewing the Free and Clear shampoo and conditioner. So Free and Clear is a brand. If you guys are loyal listeners, a couple episodes back, I did my podcast on parenting and what that looked like. And with my son, he sees a dermatologist, he sees an allergist, an asthma doctor, so on and so forth. And his skin is very, very, very sensitive, like hypersensitive. Even the Dove hypoallergenic, however you pronounce that, his skin still doesn't react well to that. So his dermatologist actually recommended this Free and Clear anti-dandruff and such shampoo, and is actually medicated, but you can still buy it off of Amazon. It's free of dyes, fragrance, masking fragrance, lanolin, I don't know what that is, protein, parabens, and formaldehyde. You guys, English and pronouncing and spelling is not my strong suit. Forgive me. Anywho, these are going, I believe the conditioner is going for $12 a bottle and the shampoo is going for $10 a bottle, which I will link below. But if you know someone or you yourself has very, very sensitive skin, I highly recommend those. My son's skin has been responding well to them. Dermatologist recommended. And yeah, so let's get started into the podcast. All right, and we are back. So only a couple more days till Halloween. I hope you guys are gathering your costumes, getting your plans set, getting excited to eat the candy, be with the family, so on and so forth. But let's get into these stories. So I wanted to go into a little bit more about me and my experiences with energy, vibes, that type of thing. So when I was little, I could walk into a room, walk into a house, and I could feel if the energy was off. I could feel if there was a bad energy. I could feel all these things very, very strongly. And as I gotten older, I have sort of shut that feeling or shut that portion of my mind or my energy off because it was very scary to me. So I've learned to kind of shut it off, which actually might not be a good thing now, but it's still there. I'm actually trying to welcome it back. But anywho, when I was little, I would feel these things very strongly. So we moved into this apartment one time when I was probably in middle school, or no, I wasn't. I was in 4th and 5th grade, which is still elementary school. And this apartment just had a weird vibe. And I would tell my mom, there is something upstairs. I remember telling her, I will not go upstairs. I will not go upstairs alone. Something is off. And although I've never had a ghost encounter or things like that, I remember this one time, again, I used to always sleep with my mom and my sister. We'd all sleep in the same bed. I guess that's what you get with a single mom raising kids. And my mom would get up and go to work at very odd hours because she worked odd hours. That's just how her job was. And I remember she got up and went to work, so it was just me and my older sister. And I remember in the living room we had our computer, and I remember hearing typing, like very loud typing. And I was laying in bed and I was like, it's probably just outside. It's probably the wind, the leaves, whatever. And it would not go away. And the more I focus on it, like the more real it became. And I know in my heart it was happening in my living room. So, but I also knew my mom had left for work. So that means something or someone is typing on my computer in my living room. So I get up and I move closer to the living room, down the hallway, and the noise is getting louder and louder, confirming it's in the living room. I walk down, peek my head into the living room, and you guys, nothing is there. The sound stops. It's silent. And that also just confirms to me that I believe that something was in that house, or someone, I don't know, something was in that house, because once I got into the living room, it stopped. And I just remember that eerie feeling. Till this day, I think about the feeling I would get in that apartment, and it was god awful. But yeah, which is always, it's just weird. So, has any of my followers had those types of things? Any of my followers feel these vibes, feel these energies? Reach out to me, let me know. Moving on, this isn't really, I don't really know what to take with this. So, if someone's listening and they have a theory or hypothesis, belief as to why this always happened to me, let me know. So, growing up, I would always, whenever I walked into a new room, it could be my living room to my dining room to my bathroom, bedroom to the hallway, whenever I entered a door, like a doorway or a break in the room, I would always see just a black blob, like drop on the side of me. And this happened for years. Everywhere I went, every household, every transitioned room, as soon as I transitioned into a new room, a black blob would drop beside me. And for a while, I would turn and I would look to see what it was, and nothing was there. And eventually, I stopped turning and looking because it became my normal. It became natural. It became just what happens. As I started shutting off this ability to feel a lot of energy and vibes, that started to go away. So it's kind of like I shut off that open mind or open ability to be able to dive deeper into what was happening. But I remember that always being scary at first, like what is dropping next to me, until it became normal and natural. So if anyone out there has a theory, hypothesis on this, let me know what was happening. I would love to know. And sometimes I question being able or going to someone to be able to open up these pathways again, but I don't know how I feel about it yet. So, anywho, moving on. The next thing I want to talk about is signs coming into my life physically. I don't know if my followers believe in physical signs or what have you, but I have a few that I would like to talk about. So something creepy, not creepy, but like cool, weird, which is kind of part of the series, is one time I was waitressing at this restaurant, and I remember I was having a really hard shift, a really hard day, and I remember thinking to myself, like, if God could only show me that he's here. Like, if I could just get that today to get me through the shift, to get me through today, I need that. And side note, if you're not a believer here, that's okay. Like, I've mentioned before in multiple other podcasts, we can still be friends and have different beliefs. That is 100% normal, 100% okay. I don't take offense to any way you believe, if it's for, against, alternative, whatever, because that your beliefs don't affect my beliefs, and we can still have different opinions and still be friends. So anyways, back to the story. I was saying, like, I really just need God to show me that he's here today. So I was cleaning up this table they had left, wiping it down, It was at the end of my shift, so I needed to sweep underneath all my tables. And if you're watching the visual today, you can see this. And I go to sweep under this table, and there was this cross, this metal cross underneath the table, like just waiting for me. And as I said a few moments ago, I was asking that day for God to show me that He was there with me to get me through that day. And this physical piece came to me. And I don't think that this was just there. Like, I think everything happens for a reason, and I think signs happen for a reason. And that was given to me that day. And I've kept it ever since for that reason. Moving on, another symbol that I have received, actually, that was a few years ago, probably like in 2000, I don't know, 16, around there. So moving on to today, I recently got another symbol, physical symbol, and it's so weird. And I really couldn't explain this until I opened up to my sister about it and said, hey, look at this and listen to what happened. And she was just almost in like awe, like, do you know what that symbol means? So let me get into the story. So one day I was upstairs and I was cleaning and I saw something on my floor. And I pick it up. I'll show you guys if you're watching the YouTube video. And it's like this crescent moon and a star. And this meant absolutely nothing to me. I remember looking at it and I was like, where the hell did that come from? I don't have any charms like that. I've never seen this in my entire life. I've been living here for 2 years at this point. This is weird. I don't even know how this would get into my home. So what do? It's just a random ass piece. Throw it away in the trash. So I throw it away in the trash, move on with my day. You know, trash day comes, take all the trash out, whatever. I shit you not, like 2 weeks later, I was cleaning and this exact same thing pops up on my floor again. After the second time, I was like, okay, that's weird. Like, I distinctly remember throwing this away. I don't know what it is. I've never seen it. Has no purpose to me. What the fuck? But then I was like, I have a son. Maybe he saw it laying on top of the trash or whatever, shiny, cool. Maybe he grabbed it, was playing with it, dropped it again. So this is the second time I pick it up, put it in the trash, throwing it away, taking it outside. Goodbye. I don't know what you're doing here. You guys, I am not fucking joking when I say this. For the third time, after it has been thrown away in my garbage outside, this piece reappears in my house again. It's a half moon and a star. And at this point, I keep it. I say to myself, this piece is coming to me for a reason. This piece is drawing to me for a reason. There's a reason why this random thing keeps popping up into my life after I throw it away multiple times. At this point, I decide to open up to my sister about it. Hey, look at this. This is my story. This is what's been happening to me. What do you take from this? And what she responds with is crazy to me. Not crazy, but like peaceful. Gives me like just like an overwhelming feeling. So what this piece means, it's the crescent moon and a star. And I'm reading it from a screenshot on my phone of the meaning. And it says, the star and the crescent portrays a star and a crescent moon symbol, which is often used as a symbol of religion in Islam. It is commonly used to represent Islam, Muslims, and Islamic countries. And then what it also means is let me go back, sorry. It represents divinity, sovereignty, and victory. Now, after reading that, it completely makes sense to me, or when my sister expressed what this was, it made sense to me why this piece was coming into my life. Because what my followers don't know is I've been really struggling with my religion. I've been really struggling with beliefs and how I want to carry out my beliefs, how I want to represent my beliefs. I've been struggling with that internally, inside, personally. And I believe this is another way, just like the cross came to me that day. This is another way of God saying, hey, I'm here. Quit throwing me away. Quit pushing me to the back burner. Like, as much as you, this, like, I take it as God saying, like, as much as you push me away, as much as you put me on the back burner, as much as you do this, that, the other, I'm still here. I'm still here with you. And this, I'm showing you that I will always be here. Because how do I throw this piece, this gem away 2 or 3 times and it keeps appearing in my life? So I dive deeper. What does divinity mean? So that means the state of equality, of being divine, Christ, the study of religion. So again, confirmation for me. What does sovereignty mean? A concept that refers to dominant power, meaning like a god or a king, or like my belief, like I believe in God. Again, another confirmation for me. What does victory mean in like religion? And that means like overcoming an enemy, overcoming an antagonist, achieving something, being successful in a struggle. And God knew I was struggling with this belief and just struggling with how do I want to live out like my Christian lifestyle? Like, what does that mean? And this piece just really spoke to me, and I'm keeping it forever now. And it's crazy to me. So going on with like the spooky season, quote unquote, weird things that happen to you, like, do any of my followers, listeners, do you guys ever have like physical symbols that come to you that really just hit home for you and make sense and wouldn't be explained any other way? Because it happens to me and I love it. Like, I love that happens. It really gives me like confirmation that for me personally, again, we can have different beliefs, that there is a higher power out there. But there's that. So, third and foremost, I'm going into My Child Sees Dead People. Now, that's the name of this podcast because I think it's really catchy, really grabs attention. But literally, like, what do I mean by this? So, let's get started. My child is 3 years old. We've been living in this house for 2 years now, 3 years. And my grandma had passed away when he was 4 months old. And I never really showed him pictures of her, never really talked about her to him, never really, it hasn't been a heavy topic because I struggle with that. So it's not really something I introduced to my son. And one day I was driving in the car. I pull up a picture of my grandma and I go like this, if you're watching the visual, into the back seat. And I ask him, I say, who is this? And he goes, oh, that's my grandma. Okay, what? What'd you just say? How does he know? How does he know that that's his grandma? So I further the conversation. Remind you, when I have conversations like this with my son, I do not ask, like, I do not plant things into his head. So I always ask open-ended questions to where I'm not planting an answer inside his head. So I asked him, where is grandma? And he goes, oh, she's at mom's house. I said, okay, where is grandma at mom's house? She's upstairs in my room. And I said, okay. I said, do you know her? He said, yes. And I said, what do you guys talk about? And he starts doing this language that I don't even know. It's like a baby talk, but like he doesn't do baby talk. Like I can have full on conversations with him and he starts doing this language that I don't know what he's saying. So then I'm like, okay, like what do you guys do together? And he goes, oh, she brings me presents. She brings me gifts. She plays with me. And it's like, wow, like he knows my grandma and he has that relationship with her. Like he's opened to that side. And a few months go by and it was my grandma's birthday. And I said, Avery, it's grandma's birthday today. And he goes, oh, I know. She's upstairs in my bedroom right now. Oh, okay. And I left it at that because I don't want to plant things inside his head, and I want him to be able to talk openly and come from his perspective in his mind. So this really opened me up to the idea of like, maybe he is close to the other side. Maybe he does have a gift right now, and I want to embrace that. So then the other day, we were in our living room, and I was sitting on the floor. He was playing with his toys. He looks up from his toys. He looks around the living room. He looks at me. And he goes, "Where is he going?" And I said, "Where is who going?" He said, "Him, that guy, where is he going?" And I said, "Well, who is that guy?" And he goes, "Oh, he just came up from the basement." And I said, "Okay." I said, "Well, like, who is he?" He goes, "He's a guy and he has green eyes." And I said, "Well, where is he going?" And my son goes, "Oh my gosh, he has a cut across his forehead. He needs to go to the hospital. He's going outside. He's in the car. He's driving to the hospital right now." And I asked my son if he's still here, and he said, "No, he's driving to the hospital. He has a cut on his head." And I just was like in awe, like, how, to me, if he's not seeing this, how does this 3-year-old randomly look up from his toys, ask me about this guy in my living room, tell me where he came from, tell me what he looks like, his physical, he has green eyes, has a cut on his head. He just, in my opinion, kids don't just make this stuff up. So then time goes by, and I ask him a little bit later, and I said, "Do you remember that guy earlier?" He goes, "Yeah." I said, "Where is he at?" He goes, "Well, he lives in the basement, but I told you he's at the hospital. He had a cut on his head." So confirmation, he didn't forget. He just didn't say that out of random. And I asked him, and I said, "Is he nice or is he mean?" I said, "What's his personality?" He said he's really, really nice. And I said, "Okay. So what else does he look like?" And he goes, "Well, he's really, really short, like me." And I said, "Okay." So it's just like weird things that like that I wanted to introduce to the series or spooky season and let you in on my life. Like these, I don't even know what you would call them, these interactions, these abilities that maybe there is a higher power out there that's giving me these symbols. Maybe my child does have a gift where he's open to the other side and be able to see things. And it's just very interesting to me. Very Halloween vibes, spooky vibes, mystery vibes. And I wanted to tell you guys those stories today, and I hope you like this series. Let me know if in the future you guys want me to do other series where I drop multiple podcasts and YouTube videos in a week, or how you like this. Reach out to me reach out to me through my forms below. But I hope that you guys have a nice day, and I will see you again tomorrow for the third and final part of this series for Halloween week.